Hello, thank you for tuning in another episode of Shoot the Ish. And again, from the subscribers from last time and those who continue to watch, share, and like, definitely appreciate you guys. But today, you see Greasy Mitch. What's good, babe?
You already know, Greasy Mitch, a.k.a. Pluto. Foreigner.
This nigga really think he Pluto. Yo, but today, obviously we do episodes that, have been with the context of relationships. Some of the trials and tribulations of relationships. And this isn't a relationship podcast. This is obviously a podcast that we talk about everything. Therefore, the name Shoot the Ish, that means just talking about every damn thing. But what we got to bring today, we're going to talk about almost the same thing, but we almost going to round it out. This relationship thing going to be rounded out eventually. But we're going to talk about what it is that men like. What is it that men want, I should say. But to always understand what it is that you what it is that you want, you got to start with what were some of the things while you were growing up? What are some of the things that you realize in your past? What are some of the things that you realize as you grew up or in this dating field right now? And as you mature, you find out a lot of things that you don't like. You find out there are a lot of things that you probably once liked and didn't like in a woman. And that's what we basically going to talk about today, right? So we just going to start this off with Mitch. Based on the things that I just asked for, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to know basically in your lifetime, right? And we're going to do a lifetime episode. But the thing is, we start as when we first start dating, we find that there are a lot of things that we don't like or things you don't like when you first started dating. And as time goes on, you found out things that, maybe I liked before, then I don't like. Mm-hmm. There are things that, like I said at the beginning of the top of the show. So, you know what? I want to ask you, what are some of the things you probably didn't like within your past? Just let me know.
All right. You understand, when back in the day when you're younger, you grow up more so based on perception of what is accepted. What most people like, you're supposed to like. What most people don't like, you're not supposed to like. So, and in my time, growing up, back in, say, the early 2000s or the late 90s or whatever the case may be, light skin.
No. We want to know about what is that you didn't like.
What I didn't like. I'm getting there. So as far as now, it causes conflict for complexions for what I didn't like.
Yeah, being a kid.
So on the basis of that, during our time, dark-skinned chicks wasn't the biggest, the end all be all the way it is today. As far as there was always a complexion, differential growing up or whatnot. So we would just learn not to like, we want the woman with the long hair, nice complexion. That's what you see on TV or whatever the case may be. So what we didn't like growing up is like, nah, I don't want a dark-skinned chick. Not knowing why or what, just society. So you wanted to stray away from, either a dark-skinned chick or a chick that didn't have the best gear or wasn't the flyest. So you didn't like any chick that really didn't give you as much, attention or props as you would want.
Would you say that, based on, I'm hearing what he's saying, and it seems like, with the things that he didn't like, it seemed like it was more like you said props and stuff, but it didn't give you, you can show off that type of chick. So it was all about, how you felt like by me having this chick, I'm not going to get, she whack, so nobody ain't going to really give me props as a young boy. So you really went for the light-skinned chick.
Exactly.
The one that always wore the Reebok. Well, I think that was my time, but I'll get to mine. But, and it was something that you felt like it was a status in a way.
Yeah, so, it was a status at the time, but it wasn't based on my initial heart preference, but that's what was out. For example, gear. For example, at that time, say Tommy Hilfiger was popping or something else was popping. That type of chick wasn't that brand as to what you want to show off. So what I didn't like, or what my likes and dislikes was based on society and perception and what would make me look cooler, or what would make me look, something as worth showing off or whatnot. So at that time, yeah, you wanted the 5411 size 7 and girls. You wanted the girls with the big hoop rings and lipstick and just popping and flashy and outgoing and with the longest hair, and this is what society made. Is what was in the movies and advertisements at that time. So I didn't like if you weren't what was trendy.
And you would say that most of that actually started your dating phase of things.
Correct.
What you felt. Now, obviously we're gonna talk because everybody has different experiences, right? So I would say that even with me in reference to dating, starting out dating, it was always something I knew at that time as a young boy. I didn't want look. I think every black man has been in that situation where we wanted that we didn't want the dark skinned girl. We didn't want. I know. Look, I can be honest. I didn't think dark skinned girls were pretty. I would also say that I didn't like. I know for sure, and I can still think back. I didn't like even at that time with me. I didn't like the loud girl. That's always, and you remember when we was in school, we was young, especially when we first started dating. This was the time where girls would actually fight. I ain't like all that. I really was almost, not to even say that, I was kind of very traditional, even at a young age, in reference to what I felt a girl should be at the time, what I felt like the dresses, and if you dress more manly, like I wanted the girly girl. But I damn sure did not like
the Aaliyahs back then.
Yeah, nah. I didn't.
I like that.
No. I didn't like it, and it was like I feel like during dating, at that time I was, like you said, it's something that you learn, and as time goes on, I'm gonna bring back to certain things, but at the same time that we're mentioning things that we obviously don't like. As you can see, that he'll say some of the reasons why he probably felt he didn't like it. So I would say, all right, so we start at that point. Like, we going down memory lane with this, right? So obviously that's when you're basically in your adolescence, you're just starting out dating, right? Now you actually get to probably like, I'm going to do a span of almost like let's say you in your like your 20s or 20s to your late 20s and stuff. Like, what would you say then, if anything changed that you felt like you did not like in women?
All right, so when you hit your 20s now, you pretty much at that time in college, graduated college, just started the workforce or whatever the case may be. I just didn't like certain women that would cap in the sense of, just belittling people for certain things that they have never seen or never had.
What do you mean?
Like, those were the ages as to where, like, oh, listen, if you ain't got no car, you're not on my level, you're not worth it, just because they're bad or whatever the case may be. If you didn't have no certain type of car or certain type of money, certain type of prestige, or didn't dress a certain type of way, or didn't go to these certain clubs or strip clubs or whatever the case may be at that time, you ain't lit. So now this is when rappers became big in the game, and if you ain't got all them chains, you ain't got all, the diamonds and the spinners and the lack trucks and all that other stuff, they ain't with you. Mind you, they're at the age as to where, of course, now more successful rappers, money is a big thing. Social media slowly started popping in with the whole MySpace and Facebook and things of that nature. So now they're getting exposed to more things that they ever seen before. So now in your 20s, you find a battle as to where, you got a car, but most dudes my age don't even have a car. But I ain't what you really looking for, unless.
So you would say that you didn't like superficial women?
Yeah.
And your
dream chasers, I call them. Superficial women, dream chasers.
My question is, did you still have the same mindset of this? Did you still have the same things you didn't like in your 20s that you didn't like when you first started out dating in your teens?
No, actually, because now in my 20s, I learned as my, what I like and what, my preferences are versus what perception is. So now I'm separating myself of what supposed to be cool to what my likings are. I never was a 100% a complexion type of person. I was born, raised in this, society as to where, a time frame, I should say, as to where light skins were more favored than brown skin or dark skin. But now when I'm older and I'm dealing with more people and I was able to adapt, that was not I've learned that complexion is nothing to me. It's about the person, it's about the personality, it's about what they, how they made me feel. It's about, the respect levels and things of that nature. So it evolved to what they think will make me look cool to what I like,
I get what you're saying. So basically, obviously, you didn't have the same dislikes from you going from a teenager to
correct.
Now, I would say me in reference to what it was that I felt like when I was in my 20s. Wow, what did I dislike? What I started to realize as I got older, like he said, now there's an age gap between us, but I would say that I started to understand me a little bit more in my 20s and realizing, like, like I said, the light skin. And I have stories where I looked at it and I always said, and because as time goes on, you start to have growth, you start to understand yourself. And by understanding yourself, you get to that point where you say to yourself, like, I'm going to self-observe. And the type of person I am, I like to analyze myself. And in analyzing yourself, we came up during the time of the 5 percenters as I was getting in my 20s, knowledge of self, and things like that. And then you started to realize, like, the things that I thought I disliked aren't the things that I actually dislike now, right? So it came to a realization. I was like, yeah, I used to be fixated on light-skinned girl, the silky hair, or all this stuff. You already know, like the cuteness and all that. Only light is bright. I mean, light, bright,
Mm-hmm.
right? Light is right, and all this other stuff. But then I started to realize, like, you know what? I understood where I got that concept from.
Mm-hmm. Also, mindset changes at that time. And I think a lot has to do with hip hop or, just music videos. Back then.
See, I didn't have that many at that time.
No, I'm talking about when you're in your 20s. Now in my 20s, you're seeing beautiful brown cinnamon, women and models and different foreign type of women and on videos. On Jay-Z videos or P. Diddy videos or whatever the case may be.
Well, Jay and them have a tendency to only use the little light-skinned ones.
That's how they started. But now you started seeing, that's when, what's her name? Past Tony Braxton. What's the other girl name?
Ashanti?
No, starts with a T. Whatever. Long story short, there's a lot of brown skin, great R&B, females that evolved in the early 2000s as well. Tweet, what's her name? Tweet.
Tweet was a artist.
Yeah, Tweet. Tweet. Her name was Tweet, for example. And then also the models, even though they use different, exotic type chicks, but at that time now you're developing as a man. Like, complexion doesn't mean nothing. It's really about the person. And that's when I got in a relationship in my early 20s. The first relationship I ever had,
Yeah, but
and it wasn't on the basis of
complexion. Yeah, I know
complexion 100%, even though it just so happens to be that.
But like I said, like with me, I realized that, some of those perception is things that I didn't like. But again, far as me not liking, at that time, I'm discovering myself. I'm getting in my own. And I've always been a hard worker, so I wasn't the guy off the street. So I was somebody that worked. So at that time, like he said, like you're a regular guy that's working a 9 to 5. You getting ready, like you in the workforce and things like that. And what I started to realize was a lot of selfishness. So I couldn't stand, like as time went on, I couldn't stand a selfish woman. I couldn't stand a woman that didn't understand, like that was always on you to be in a relationship. So I would say if I had to sum that up, that was a pushy woman. And then what you start to realize in your 20s, you find that there's a lot of insecurity. So you're meeting the jealous women.
I agree.
And I could not stand jealousy.
Agree.
So as I'm realizing, like, you probably didn't pay attention too much to that when you first started dating, because you was just probably happy you got a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've already discovered that whole thing, like, women, you're starting to get in your face with you understanding that, women ain't, like, women are a dime a dozen. I hate to say it, but as you got older, you started to understand it. And that's when we start to even understand how we gonna move, because we're still basically discovering who we are in this dating realm. So I would say that the jealousy thing was something that I realized I could not deal with when I was in my 20s dating. Now, this dating period is an interesting period, like when you're in your 30s and going forward to present, because they kind of, in a way, it's kind of like the same thing, but I'm still going to save the last one. It's a reason why I'm going to save the last one, basically to the now. But right this period, like, again, there's an age difference right here. So would you say, like, all right, so do you believe there's a time from in your 20s to, I think with you, I'm going to probably do different. 20. Yeah, it's going to be a little different because would you say that from your 20s, that mindset that you had and the dislikes that you had in your 20s are those that you felt the same as you're moving into your 30s and stuff like that?
Yeah, but at that time, me being in a relationship, I learned a lot, So I learned, what was most valuable to me, what I valued the most, what made me feel the best, and what would I want forever versus, different frictions and things that I would rather not have or whatnot. So it molded me to be who I am today. And I believe I haven't, having that experience helped me with my mindset where I am today to adapt in a volatile and a more volatile environment of today.
So what would you say you dislike in women today?
Now, today?
I'm saying if you feel like from your 20s to your 30s, there was a change. Now, if it wasn't no change, say there's no change. Correct. But if there was a change from being in your 20s to you being in your 30s, what were some of the things that you recognized that you didn't like?
It gets deep only in the sense because you understand.
It's okay to say that you did. I feel like my mindset from my 20s to 30s is literally the same. You don't necessarily have to say anything changed if it did.
My mindset was the same. Yeah, my mindset was the same, to be honest with you. But, as far as what I like and dislike, now it's categorized a little different because what you like and dislike in a relationship versus what you like and dislike in a woman of what you want to be or what you're looking for or what you're dealing with, it's kind of like...
Well, I would assume that if you're in a relationship with somebody, you plan on making that person your woman, wouldn't you?
No, if you're in a relationship with somebody, yeah, you're planning on that, but you got your trials and tribulations, you know what you like, you know what worked, you know what did, right? So now in your 30s, you're more equipped to know exactly the kind of woman that you will feel that you will need to mold you and help you to be with the man you want to be, and vice versa.
Yeah, you looking at me.
And vice versa. You're a very handsome man. You know what I mean?
Pause.
But
you had
well, damn. I made that one. But look, I would say between my 20s and 30s, right? Have I changed? Hell yeah. But I realized it was more or less like it was still discovery. Because one of the things I realized in my 20s, obviously dating, you start to understand your own value, you understand like your street value, you understand who you are as a person, right? You start to understand a lot of your dislikes by being in your teenage years into your 20s. And then I realized in my 30s, because what I realized, I put a lot of I put a lot of like, we gotta factor in that sometimes when you feel like you know that, I think when you get in your 30s, you swear you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yo, it got to the point that I knew what I felt like I wanted, and therefore I knew what I wouldn't. I knew what I would literally dislike, because truthfully, if I really think about a lot of my dislikes, it literally always stayed the same. I don't like the hood chick. I like a lady to be a lady. I like me to see your soft side. I ain't with all the arguing. I'm not with all the jealousy, which sometimes equate to arguing.
Agreed.
And sometimes, like, but color, I mean, as far as like color and colorization and, you know, how we, you know, different shades. No, I still love a woman. I still love a woman. That was never a big issue to me. But I would say as a man, we go through our roller coaster of likes through age.
I would like to add to that, because you did bring up something that, you know, sparked something in my mind. Difference between 20s and 30s, you're definitely 100% right. When now you understand the value of yourself, because now you've lived and experienced a lot. You have friends, brothers, family members that experienced a lot. Mm-hmm. So now you comparing society, comparing your family, your loved ones, of situations going out here. Now you.
When you say society, right? I realize you said that multiple times, right? So what do you mean?
Well, my city. For example, I can't say society like the whole world or whatever.
So based on your own experience,
based on my experience, based on my demographic of people, my city, my location.
See, this is what happened when this motherfucker starts to choose all these big words. Just keep it simple.
I'm talking about
college educated. I'm
talking about geographical location.
All right.
In the urban cities, whether you're Essex County, Sussex County, that's what I'm judging. You know what I mean?
All right, let's go.
Based on that, you see
location drop.
Correct. So you see where you've evolved, where you at now. You're in your 30s, and you just know that you shouldn't tolerate certain things in your 20s.
Guys, not to be personal, I know I'm gonna call him Mitch. I ain't gonna call him Mitch Pluto, but I've known Mitch Pluto for I know Mitch for quite a time, and I used to tell him all the time. I said, like, some of the scenarios that he would be going through, right? I would tell him sometimes you got to get out of that environment, because sometimes what we realize is that we accept a lot of things based on the environment, because when we stay local per se, this is sometimes all you think that's out here, and you learn to accept. But it was certain scenarios that he would say, I was like, you like shit like that? You like this? You like this? Is all I'm used to. Until you get out of your own comfort zone to be able to realize, like, you know what? It's more out there. Yeah, and so sometimes a lot of stuff you would say, like you said, from your 20s and your 30s, you learn, like you said, you've seen things and you learn to what you don't like around your area.
Correct.
In a way, like your home, as you said, demographic. Mm-hmm. But
that's the difference between then. But that forced me to expand. That's when now I started traveling, seeing the world. And them conversations that I had with you years after years after years expanded my mind that there's a bigger world than Jersey City. There's a bigger world than what I'm seeing. And there's a lot more growth in myself, mentally, a lot more growth in the kind of women I want to deal with, a lot more options, and there's no need to settle. In your 20s, you feel like it's the end-all, be-all, heartbroken. If you leave me, I am not going to be the same no more, because the lack of confidence, because of the lack of, experience.
So now we're trying, because I definitely want to stay on it, right? Mm-hmm. Like I said, with the dislikes,
okay,
right? And one of the things that I realized is that, like I said, with me, I started to realize based on, like, my dislikes literally stayed the same from my first time dating. And like I said, through the navigations of my 20s, mm-hmm. if a chick wasn't so sexual, I didn't even want that. But then at the same time, even when I'm in my 30s now, that concept is kind of changed. Mm-hmm. I want you to be sexual. I want you to be the freak of the week. But, you're in your 30s now. The interesting thing is the next concept is about the 40s. And god dang, it definitely changes. But I would say, like, in my 30s, I started to also realize, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it maintained in reference to the selfishness. Again, like I said, nothing really changes because it's always been about, you know, me. I didn't like a woman that was always about me. Because, again, that's a form of selfishness. That a woman who didn't understand, a woman that didn't know how to compromise, and a woman that wasn't your cheerleader. Yeah. So even in my 30s, I was that.
And that's the opposite of a relationship.
But here's the funny thing. I got married in my 30s. And, you know, and that taught me a lot of things, what I didn't like, or how I had different opinions of what I thought relationships would be. But I think that taught me way more in my 30s about what it is that I don't like. And I damn sure had a list, like, in reference to being married. I realized I wanted a woman to be, I didn't like a helpless woman. I didn't, and again, it's this characteristic that keeps going by through every decade of me dating. It was literally like, you deal with women sometimes, and it's that me, the selfishness, it's the jealousness, it's the not being supportive. I cannot deal with a woman that's not supportive or understanding. So that, to me, was a lot of the things that I didn't like in relationships. And so, truthfully, there were a lot of things that piled up. Now, I won't say, the only thing I could say really truly changed would be sex, and would be colorism, that I would say changed as time went through dating, right? But this is going to be a two-part question, though. Like, it's actually I can answer two things in one. But I know Mitch is basically going to answer this one because he ain't reached my age difference yet. So it's 2023, right?
Yeah.
Now, you said, you know, through growth, society, everything, your geographics, your localness, but I'm creating the word localness. But
there you go. That's education right there, right?
What would you say there are things that you dislike today, as far as you dating, when you meet a woman and you want to get to know her, and sometimes it's even also like, and I want to be able to say this too. We sometimes say we separate, chick I want to smash or chick I want to date.
Correct.
9 times out of 10, the chick you want to smash, if she do the right things, it's going to be somebody you're going to obviously want to date her. So it's 2023 right now, right? So basically, like I said, 2023, with the dating that you do and the women you may meet, and like I said, the separation of understanding, the separation from whether or not some woman you just messing with or somebody you getting to know. Like I said, that can always be changed. But what would you see from 2023 that you would say that, you know, I'm at this point in my life, and I know at this point I don't like, I won't tolerate it, and just what are some of those things that you would be saying in reference when you're meeting and knowing in this dating life right now?
I would say out the world expectations of what women nowadays feel like, you know, as far as either they deserve or what they need or what's best for them. I just think that, you know, not even to go back to like social media, whatever the case may be, but since people are like, a lot of women are introduced to a lot more opportunity out here, and, you know, society is different. Money's more relevant and valuable nowadays, and resources and entrepreneurship and everything of that nature. So it puts a lot more potential in the air, and which is fake clout to me. So a lot of these women will look at the regular, normal, hard-working guy that was always valuable back 20 years ago today as not good enough.
So what would you say you dislike, though?
I just like the fact that women are just not as open and willing to connect or give a try or
So would you say you dislike a woman that, you know, and in their terms sometimes settle.
Correct.
So let's for the audience, I just want to make sure I'm getting this clear. So Mitch Pluto.
Yep.
You're basically saying that in 2023, from what you've seen so far, you dislike those who are, again, superficial.
Correct.
Have high expectations.
Correct.
And are delusional with their high expectation.
Correct.
And so when you date someone, when you're out here dating, what are some of those things that you see? Like when you say you dislike it though, what is it? How are they coming at a certain point? How do you feel that they're coming to the point that you realize these are the type of women that you dislike? So when you're out, how do you know? Do you know this offhand based on conversations that you dislike them? Like when do you know you get to the point like, yeah, I'm not feeling this one?
There were a lot of women are very tricky. Depends on how savvy they are. You know, a lot of women are very savvy. You know, the ones that aren't as savvy as much as where we going out to eat, or I would like to go here. You know, what to even let the man make that decision on their own, or make a suggestion. You know, that ultra aggressive that I only eat here for such and such when you know you would never take yourself there. There's been plenty of times that they throw in high class restaurants. You don't even know them. You just met them. So you already know where they might from. I just write that off automatically. All right, that's a booger. She's a gold digger or whatever.
Okay.
You know? So that's for the lame, not too savvy type chicks. Now the savvy type chick will be like, you know, you make the decision. We go get drinks anywhere. It don't matter. Somewhere casual, right? Hey, you having conversations, you're chilling out, you're doing whatever you got to do. You could be having a decent time. And now the night is, you know, slowly dimming down. All of a sudden, somebody's getting extra to-go meals at a bar.
Damn.
When all we ordered was appetizers. Now we have full-blown meals going home. So I'm not worthy enough for you to eat that meal here with me. You feel me? This is the meal that got to go home. But we could talk and have these drinks. And so it's like, what is the purpose? Like, let me see what I can get from you real quick. So now I know how to moving forward. So I can always get a free meal when I'm with this. No, you know.
So these are things that you would say that more or less like these are some of the red flags of like, yo, I can't fuck with a woman like that.
Yeah, correct.
So all right, okay. I'm gonna get. It's a method to this madness, right? Okay. So I would say, let's say with me, because obviously I would say now, Mitch had to talk about right now. I'm gonna talk about right now, but I got a longer story because then I'll say my 30s to my 40s. Yes, I'm in my 40s.
Ain't old, man. You acting like you old.
No, but it's a different experience, and sometimes the experience of being married and coming back into the world is totally different. That's different. Because I could say with what I saw in my 30s compared to what I saw in my 40s and being divorced was totally different. I started to understand that, you know what? I just got out of something. What's out here now in my 30s? And through the journey, you're still bettering yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're getting more financially stable.
Of course.
And so now my wants, my dislikes have actually piled up. And then the experiences in life, marriage, having children, a lot of things which you would accept, a lot of things you won't, but you still know what it is that you don't dislike. Because one of the things that I think about, if you don't know what you don't like, how can you actually move forward in any type of relationship?
Correct.
You got to know what you won't tolerate. You got to know what you won't accept. That's basically a simile to what I'm saying. But these are the things, just knowing what you want isn't always about, that's not the solution, because you got to know what you dislike. You can ask for a woman that, you know, I want her to be very understanding, but then she's jealous. So now you got to figure out like which one can I deal with. So it's important to always know what it is that you dislike out here, what you won't accept, what you won't deal. But I would say from my 30s until now, I would say I would look at a lot of stuff saying that, I need a woman, watch this, that can have a conversation. I mean, that I want a woman, I would say I don't like a woman that doesn't know how to communicate.
Agreed.
I cannot deal with it.
Agreed. What else you gonna do?
I realize also, some of my, literally all my dislikes piled up, it's still the same way. But what was like, my brother got married. One thing that I said at his marriage, make sure your wife is your cheerleader. And that goes back to the supportive thing. Yeah. I need support. Yeah. I need you to be able to understand me again. I dislike a woman who's very still selfish. So going into getting out of the pool, I realized stuff was this, and it was like a lot of crazy things when I got divorced. Okay. Now, what we're going to come up with this one is now we're finally in 2023 and now. Yeah. Right? And I think you gave a little bit of now, but I'm going to switch it. I'm going to say it's 2023. What are some of the things that we obviously know the things that you dislike, but what is it that you feel at this point in your life? Because you done been through a lot of things. You found a lot of things that you dislike.
Correct.
But let's get back to the topic of the conversation or the topic of the show. What is it that men want, though? We expressed a lot of the stuff that we like. We understand where it came from. We understand, how it derived. But what is it that you would say that you want at this point in your life in 2023 out of a woman, though?
I believe men are very simple. Very, very simple. There's things that we have for ourselves. Well, most men, I believe, or most, you would say, at least people that are doing at least decent for themselves or better, that we could own for ourselves. We want something that's the intangibles, right? So to be able to have a connection, as you said, or having that cheerleader of support is something that, is extraordinary and what we would want.
But
right?
we always
that's one concept. This is one concept.
I'm just saying, I always tell the audience, we want to get right to the point with them. We want to be able to say, yo, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what you feeling, what you want. We ain't got to break down the philosophical shit. But just let's make it straight to the point.
Yeah, make it straight to the point. Make it simple. Yo, just be there without being a hassle. Just be a man happiness. That's it. Bring happiness and peace. You be the man's peace. The world alone is already tough. Being a man is tough. Other people might disagree with or agree, but being a man itself is tough. Working is tough. Your mind's going to different places. The world's moving 100 miles per hour. Be a man's peace. Be a man's sacred realm. Be someone that someone wants to go home to and possibly can't even wait. Same way a person can't wait to go to bed and at the end of the night in a warm bed and after a long day's work or whatever the case may be. That's really what it is. Simplify. A man's peace, a man's partner, a man's resource in need, in time of need, a man's comfort. Just the go-to. You feel me? Just the go-to.
Would you say that, now, just think about it. We got a woman out here, right? Mm-hmm. In the audience that's paying attention to this, right?
Okay.
And they may think what your likes is. Let's say it's a woman that wants to meet you and she was like, look, I'm going to give you everything you need.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And obviously, and I'm going to say this to the ladies out there, we obviously we're going to do our part. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that lady that's out there looking at you saying, yo, you have the opportunity to say what it is that you want out of a woman. And she's going to give you what you want. What is it that you want? I understand you say, I want peace, I want simplicity. But every person's peace is different. So what can you say that you would say, you yourself? What is it that you want? I tell
you what my wishes are and you respect it. Simple as that. And vice versa.
I'm realistic.
No, I tell you what, wish you respect. You respect my wishes.
So what you're basically saying is she respects your wishes.
No.
Because your wishes could be some fucked up
vague,
shit.
No, but I'm not a fucked up person. I'm speaking on behalf of myself.
So my question would be,
on behalf of myself.
Say what it is that you want, not so broad.
I tell you my wishes are you respect the meaning. Like this, we two people respect each other.
It doesn't sound like he knows what he wants, guys.
What? I know what I want.
So why can't you say it?
You
just said respect my wishes.
I'm being general about it.
Well, we not being general.
Specific.
Wait. She asked. She says, Mitch, what is it that you want from me? And you say, I want you to respect my wishes.
I say, be my peace. I say wishes. All right, so you want adjectives? Like, all right.
Look. I'm sorry.
Can you clean? Can you bust it open whenever I want it? That's all my wishes and like.
But you didn't say that. Wait.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you.
At this point in 2023, everybody, he just said all he wants is a woman that will sex him. What else?
Okay.
Sex him.
If you cook, clean. Woman in the house, be the queen of the house, run the things, laundry, whatever the case may be.
That's clean.
Okay.
So that's it.
No.
Companionship.
Grow with me.
Okay.
Like whatever business ideas we have together, sharing finance, whatever the case, being a better, person together, a team member, a team player with me, right?
I'm gonna pull this information out.
No, I don't need primarily for her to be the richest or this and that and this. Oh, you gotta be bad, obviously. Attractive to me.
Okay.
You feel me? And not just physically. You gotta be, mentally connected. We have to have some sort of type of intellect as to where, we can actually bond and build and grow and be wise with each other and make each other, better human beings in the world.
Now, with everything that you said you want out of a woman.
That would be nice. Yeah.
All right. But my question to you would now be, do you think you provide the same things what your wants are? Are you able to provide your wants to that woman?
My specific ones?
Yeah.
Sex, yes. Clean might not be the best, but if I have to do it, I'm going to do it. Mental connection, of course. Building, bonding, finances, of course. I'm going to hold it down as the protector and the provider, of course. What else is there for me to do?
All right. No, look, the bottom line, we see that, right?
Yeah.
Now, the only reason I ask those questions is because, look, now in 2023, there were a lot of things I said I wanted. I want this, I want that, I want that, I want this, right? Mm-hmm. And I told Mitch to do some adjectives, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what happened with me? Through marriage, through relationships, through realizing the things that you get. Sometimes we get all the shit that we want. And we still ain't satisfied. Yeah. And that was a thing that I think with me, and that's what I'm going to say with me, could be literally like, do we know what we want? And I think I simplified mine. I think I simplified mine in 2023. I think this has been the same scenario.
But you got like two things?
No.
One thing?
Watch this.
You can do this.
No. Watch this. I want to meet someone organically. And watch this. Come into my life and make me feel like I can't be without you.
That's hard. See, now that's vague too. Now I want adjectives.
Wait. The only reason I said that because truthfully, I gave adjectives on the things I want. And I'll be honest, I said I want a submissive woman. Okay. I could say I want a woman that could cook, but guess what? I can cook. I want a woman that cooks and cleans and sex me. I can get all that. That's not a problem, right? Mm-hmm. But what is it about the woman who you can't be without? What is that intangible?
That's something you got to find out.
And guess what? That's what I'm saying. So when we say what it is that we want, do we really know what we want? Because when it's all said and done, sometimes we had that woman. But like you say, it comes in a package for you. It's gonna come. She needs to look like this, that, and the third. But you say she gotta be a baddie. Yeah. But in your eyes, it's a specific package.
To me,
yeah, correct. And to you. Yeah. But One of the things that I realized that within time I've gotten, I probably would say I'm lucky that I've met a lot of good women in my life, right? But I need the intangible. It's not like I'm gonna search for this land of make believe, this miracle, this unicorn. But what I would say, I simplify mine now. I think, and that's what happened with me through, like I said, through marriage, through relationships and everything. I said, give me something I can't be without. And that means really, I'll meet you. Leave an impact on my life to the point that you affected my life so much to the point that I was like, I can't be without this woman.
Give me something I can't give myself.
Exactly.
That's the key. That's the goal.
Because true indeed, think about what he just said. Give me something I can't give myself.
That's something you can't do without, right?
He can literally go prostitution, because if all thing you're saying is that if I can do everything for myself, I can't fuck myself. I could by handling my business, but what can you give me that I can't give myself?
Correct.
It's yeah, go ahead.
Pussy, you get it yourself. Example.
You pay for it.
You pay for it. You can do whatever, but you can get pussy. So that's X's out, right? Cooking, you can hire a chef. Boom, cooking.
Uber Eats.
Cleaning service, right? Cleaning service comes once a month to my crib. All right, that's gone. All right. What else? Finances, I got my own bread. Okay, cool. What? Movie partner? I can get.
You can go on dates multiple times.
Go on dates every day.
What would make you stop me from going on dates with all the other people?
I'm still searching for exactly what that is. But I think it's some kind of feeling because I was in love before and I didn't have the answer to that while I was in love. Like the detailed answer. It might be some type of connection that maybe as I'm getting older and eventually, in years to come, if I get in a relationship or connect, whatever the case may be, I will find an exact answer to it. But just bringing something to the table that I can't give myself, that, like you said, you can't live without. Yeah, that's the ultimate goal. The pursuit of happiness. Yeah. That's what America was built on. The pursuit, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So we're pursuing happiness right now.
And to me, even with that, like I said, to summarize the podcast, right? It's always the small shit. It's always the small thing. It's like little small things, like you meet me, you know that I'm a music guy. Throughout the day, you send me a song just to tell me how you thinking. You could text me, how's your day going? I've been thinking about you, right? That's cute, and I truly will appreciate it. But let me show you a little intangible. You send me a song and in the song it's saying I'm thinking about. That's being creative. That's knowing who your man is and being able to do a little small thing, and that little thing is bigger. Those are the intangibles.
Correct. She had a probe to know what you like in order to even...
She knew me.
Yeah, she had a probe to know what you like. That means she's really into you, know what you like, and she wanted to make you feel special.
And let me tell you, women out there, men are simple, and this was something that we said at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Men are very simple. Sometimes you can get a lot by showing appreciation for them, by showing that you adore them, by showing them that, I understand you. Because he may not have now, but what you will have is something that just inside your own heart, that if this motherfucker did, I know he would give me his last. Because sometimes, like he said earlier, the things that we don't like, the people that's out there seeming like they just all about their money, like I need a nigga to do this, I need a nigga to do that. Sometimes you can get more out of a person by actually just being yourself, and actually just by just saying, you know what? I see who that person really is, and I like where he's going. I like how his mind is. I like how that person treats. How I could see how he moves, basically, right? Because that's basically while you're dating, right? But don't be on that selfish shit, because I realize I'll say one thing, and obviously this is a show about what men want.
Correct.
I would say it's 2023. Women have rights. Women can work. Yeah. So you actually work just like that man that you want to date.
So finance, we're here. There's no here. So we're here.
What are we truly looking for? Companionship. And that's what it's about. Because I'm not going to front and be like, man, fuck these bitches. I want all these. No, I ain't got time to be messing with a whole bunch of women because everybody got a story. And that story, I hate hearing over and over and over. And me telling my story over and over and over. So when it all comes down to it, through your journey, you recognize there's some similarities of things that you disliked when you was younger and groomed you into who you are today. Society, technology changes the way we look at relationships and look at the things that we want and dislike. So when it's all said and done, I think we still out here trying to find. But far as what do Mitch and I actually look at, it's kind of like simplified. The intangibles.
What I'd agree with you on is, I just thought this up. Ben Affleck right now is engaged to a bartender he met randomly in Vegas. Ben Affleck's worth $600.
No. Ben Affleck is with Jennifer Lopez.
No, not Ben Affleck. What's the other way?
See, I can't have me saying the wrong shit.
No. Is that Ben Affleck?
Yeah, I hope you know that.
Whatever, one of them. But anyways, long story short, somebody worth damn near $1 billion, $600 million, right? That's engaged to a regular average person. Obviously, it had to be something in that person that was that intangible, somebody, a man like that, in order for them to take that step versus anything else. So I agree with you when you say it could be the most simple thought in their mind, the simple thought process of how they view him, how they view you, or you view them. Or
obviously, that would be something about how he felt, because obviously he's a man of high value. So she made him.
No, he chose her,
and it must have been something about her.
Yeah, exactly.
But guys, I don't mean to sum up the podcast, but you already know what time it is, and I think, like I said before, we in the podcast we go to a segment in which we call Mitch's Online Quest for Love. Let's get to it. What's going on this week, Mitch?
Well, I guess once you're on this app longer and longer,
to the mic.
Once you're on this app longer and longer, the reads and based on the algorithm, give you a lot more valuable women coming your way versus, so it's not as funny as effective as it was. But it's getting better, closer to my match, and that's the goal, right? What is Mitch's match? All right, so this week, let's see, 1 second.
I'm waiting on this one.
All right,
let's see what this one is about.
Destiny.
Would you say that this is a person that, out of all that you met, seemed like
this is the best one so far?
Okay, all right.
So it's going to get better and better every week until I get my match. It might take 52 weeks, might take 26 weeks, but on a quest for a match. That's what it is. It's 2023, new year, new money, right? Love. I want love. I want some Diddy shit.
Or Cool J.
I need love. Destiny, 25, young, vibrant, all right? Got it over a decade old on some change. But anyways, single mother, in school to be a medical administrator, and I enjoy shopping and spending time with family. And she loves a romantic man. No, I'm sorry. I love a hood romantic man. Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Hood romantic. Okay.
Hood romantic. I'm not bougie, but I like the finer things.
Okay. 25 with a kid. All right. 25 with a kid.
I'm not bougie, but I like the finer things.
Hood romantic. Okay.
Hood romantic. So the finer things might be take a kid to.
No, she said the romantic thing. She's 25. She want hood romantic. All right, go ahead. What's next?
Okay.
Let's follow it.
I don't want a nerd. So I guess she's big on this hood thing.
Hood romantic.
Yeah, hood romantic. Yeah, I don't want a nerd. I got my own shit.
Okay.
Car.
Did she write shit?
Yeah.
She actually wrote shit.
I got my own shit.
Okay.
Car, crib, and money.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not settling for a broke ninja.
All right. So she was respectable.
Okay. And if you look dirty, you definitely won't get my attention.
Okay. Look dirty. Okay.
She's from Trenton, 5'5", smoke often, has kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they do just have kids.
Single mother with kids. I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better because the demands are a lot less. The demands are like, all right, can't be dirty. Take showers, right? So if she got her own car, crib, and money, you have to have your own car, crib, and money, right? She's not bougie, but like the finer things. So, all right, you don't got to take me to Roof Chris, but we can go to Hula Hands, and my kids coming too. Mm-hmm. And basically, what you think?
The interesting thing, what I think about that date, I mean, at this point, I would say, she's 25, one kid. She don't want dirty dudes.
Okay.
Hood romantic.
Respectable.
She got her own stuff, her own crib. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's 25. I don't think her language should be different. I think that's a candidate. Just check her out. I think that's a situation that's worth actually
having a conversation.
Having a conversation with. Yeah,
and building from there and making the judgments.
Yeah,
it's getting better and better.
Look, it's better than the original was. Yeah, let's not look, guys. We gonna realize that the last episode we got to do kind of like a good episode where we not saying too much graphic. Yeah. And if you realize this episode did not have a lot of bad words
at all,
so we're really trying to understand and get it a little bit better, cleaned up a little bit.
We want to be very informative and educational to the younger generation of men out there because obviously we're older and we're here to entertain and make sure that
Yeah, I hope it was insightful. I hope it was insightful because at the end of the day, like I said, we're talking about a lot of things and try to go a little in depth with it, but then at the same time, I definitely want you guys to understand that we come up with the Mitch's online quest for love on the basis that, truth be told, all of us are doing it. All of us are online. We out here searching. That's why when you see all this stuff like what relationships, those trend so much on the basis that everybody out here looking for love, and the only thing we do is getting older. Nobody want to be by themselves. I don't give a fuck how many people you be seeing. It be some
might be good now, but you're not gonna be good later. Trust me.
And no matter what age, from your 20s,
don't matter.
It's different out here. Mm-hmm. But we just here to tell you what men want. Mm-hmm. And when it's all said and done, like I said, I summed it up in saying, I want something I can't be without.
Correct.
So that's you. That's a woman that's gonna know who the hell I am. And try her best to be who she feels like, by knowing who I am and trying to give me what it is that I want and be like, yo, I know him because I listen to his conversations. When we talk, we communicate. I know the things that he likes, what he don't like, and make sure you provide that. And I'll be like, yo, I can't be without this one right here.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, at a younger age, sex can hold it down for a long time when you're younger. When you get to our age, it's not the end-all, be-all. Granted, it's very important, but it cannot be the end-all, be-all.
I like that one.
Trust and believe it cannot be the end-all, be-all. It needs extra intangibles if you're talking about being grown and forever. There's a difference between a phase and forever. You can phase great sex for months and years on and off. It doesn't matter. But connection and being with one person, that's not the end-all, be-all.
He said that. Facts. He said that.
Facts.
Yo, that look, I ain't even got I know I be trying to say something else, but that summed it up. Sex is definitely not the end all be all, but when you was young, it was cool. When you get older, it's like, yo, what else you bringing to the table? Because again, we've been in those conversations where women are saying, he wants something, so I need something. What do you mean? Because at the end of the day, you say basically he wants your vagina. And see, I'm saying it, vagina. I ain't going to say the P word. Mm-hmm. And it's not like you ain't getting no ping, but what most women say, ping ain't all that. We barely even get satisfied off it, so I get it. And that's when I want to have another conversation. And I'm like I said, these relationship episodes are great, but I need the ladies to ask some of those questions. And I'm ready.
Agreed.
We may have to have a conversation about, like, ladies, be honest with us. Wait. Hit us up.
Please.
In the comments. Like, share, subscribe. But we will have a conversation where we talk about, ladies, are y'all satisfied out here?
Oh, no.
And is that why some of y'all feel like y'all can say some of the stuff y'all say? Because it's like we want sex, but y'all not happy with it. So let us know. Hit us in our IGs, which is on the description of the episode. You see the IG accounts. You definitely can leave a comment in the comment section. And I'd like to tell you guys, definitely subscribe to the Apple Podcast, which is also called Shoot the Ish. Mm-hmm. We're on Apple, Amazon, Anchor, and Spotify. Mm-hmm. All right. And, guys, just continue. Like I said, if we on Spotify, just look. Spotify, you can watch the video as well as listening. And, definitely appreciate the support. I see that the subscribers are actually growing. And, I thank you for the support. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, 100%.
We're a growing channel.
100% growing channel. I'd like to salute, my man, partner Cliff right here. Known him for a long time. Doing a great work here. Working together, just to be informative. And before we shut down, I just want to give a couple shout-outs. Happy birthday to Greasy Carl. He was on the show.
Oh, happy birthday, Carl.
That was a birthday, Carl. What is he, 50 now? Nah. Greasy Carl. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Carl. Shout out to, Boog, the Market Foundations. Y'all already know about that. Will, Jack, Sash, Esther, Jan, Nyox in the East, in the West. Happy.
And I guess if we do a shout outs, which I never do shout out, look, my biggest fan is my mom, so I'll definitely shout out.
Shout out to Mommy Cliff.
She actually sends me videos or pictures of her watching me on her television. So, she is my biggest fan. And to let you guys,
I want to meet you.
And just to let you guys know, my mother loved the last episode. Even when Miss Hazel said, "I will lick your ass with your bone, Papa," I was like, "She's so crazy. That girl crazy." So
I would say shout out to my mom, but she can't watch this. so keep that on the love.
So again, guys, thank you for watching the channel. Definitely like, subscribe, share to all those who you guys know. If you enjoy the content, definitely share it. Let people know more about let them know all about the episodes. Let them know all about the show. And again, definitely leave comments. It's okay to leave a comment. I prefer all comments, negative comments, positive comments. Tell me what, again, we could do better. Tell me subjects you'll like us to tackle. Tell us things that you want to see. That's how this podcast was called Shoot the Ish. And with it being called Shoot the Ish is more or less basically it's going to be content that some people don't talk about. Most content creators, they're bringing guests to do talk shows. We want to bring content. We want to create content. We want to create discussions that, some people talk about it. Everybody can talk about the same thing, but everybody got a different outlook on it.
Correct.
People set their podcasts up to do certain things. And as you've seen, the growth from the beginning to where we're at now, there are things that change. There are different point of views. I can have a view one week, another view the next week. My point of view changes through life and through experiences. So at the same time, I'd like to say thank you again and peace out. Good night.
Sensational.
Wait. It's right here. Wait.
Sensational.